Well, hello, everybody. I'm Huell. Hi, I'm Huell. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Huell. Hi, I'm Huell. Wait a minute. There's a helicopter coming here. Wait a minute. Oh, get out of here. Look. What is that? Let's get it out of here. Look at this. I thought what was my feet. Look at this. Oh, my God. And there they are, Louie, up there. That is an amazing sight to see as we continue our search for California's gold.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 76 of Huell's Gold. I'm Alan.
And I'm Chris.
And where are the Ladybugs?
Dude, nobody knows. That's for sure.
Dude, he was keeping it a secret.
Yeah, that's kind of like, that's the going joke of this episode, I think, is that as you know, we chose the Ladybugs episode from, I think it's 2006. So it's technically episode 8001 of California's Gold. I mean, there's not thousands of episodes, but yeah.
Would that be season, I was trying to do I just counted.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like season 16? Episode 1?
I think so. I think it's 16 because it started in 1990, so makes sense.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is the Huell that I kind of like grew to know more as an adult because I remember seeing my parents watch Huell when I was a kid, and he still was like more pepper than salt in the hair.
Right.
But, once like I got my own liking for him, this was the Huell I remember, like those Tommy Bahama shirts and a lot more loosey goosey. Like he's not trying to show off the guns, even though he's still got them. Yeah, he's not showing them off.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Mm-hmm. No. So before we jump into it too hard, we're kind of late this week. It's funny that you would think, what could we possibly have an excuse when we are both just home all day, every day? But you been up to anything this week?
Me?
Yeah.
No, just working. Also, I've been skating a lot more, but it depends on what
yourself.
I mean, yeah, by myself.
Yeah.
So it's not. I mean, skateboarding's kind of a solo thing anyway.
True.
It's one of those sports, if it's even really a sport, it's more like a performance art or something. But it's actually more fun with friends. So I've been cruising around the block. Do you remember your old duster that you bought when I worked at the skate shop?
Dude, I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Buying a skateboard, not really knowing how to skate at what, age 29 or something?
Dude, you spent so much money on that.
It was expensive. And I remember I got duster. It, and I almost just like boofed the first second. And then I'm like, you need to come over and show me how to skate. I just realized that I never really got the hang of it. And you're like showing me how to do it. And I'm just like, there's no way. That's why I just gave it to you.
You just gave me the So, if it makes you feel better, I ride that every night we go on a walk around the neighborhood. And I hop on the skateboard after, and I'll cruise about 1.5 miles on that duster.
Well, weren't you like using it to come over? You used to skate over here when we could actually do the show in person sometimes. So
right.
It's got miles on it for sure.
It does. It could use a new deck for sure because it's 7 years old, but bearings, everything works. The hardware's nice.
There you go.
Well, anyway, that's all I've been doing. That and we're nearing the end of Frasier.
For what, like the 14th time?
That's like 5th time. We'll just start it over again.
Of course.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, as you know, because you've seen some progress pictures, I've been remodeling a room in my house, and I officially finished the floors today, which was
nice.
It's been a journey for sure. Anyone who's ever like put new laminate plank flooring knows that it like seems like it's going to be really easy. And then, I mean, technically it is easy, but I guess I'm not as flexible as I used to be. So,
oh, come on.
Being on my knees up and down, getting up to like saw a piece like 500 times. Aaron's like, you need to take a day off. I was like, I think I do. I haven't done this kind of stuff in too long. But floors are down. Tomorrow starts the wallpaper removal, which...
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. If anyone's got any tips, let me know. I've just been watching YouTube videos, but I've never done it. I've never seen anyone do it.
Don't you roll something on the wall and it puts little holes in it, and then you put, not paint thinner, but you put something on it and it seeps behind the holes?
That's exactly what I've heard and seen. So I have the little roller scorer tool. I have the, wallpaper glue reactivator that will seep in back there. So I have everything that according to the videos. But if anyone's out there and was like, oh man, if I were to do it again, I would do this, please email me, because I have consistently during this whole quarantine business gotten myself way in over my head doing a ton of things. So,
have you thought about switching careers?
No, bro. I just started a new one, even though it's sort of becoming obsolete now, but whoops.
No, it'll be all right.
It's all about the distance learning now. If anyone listens and they have to do any homeschooling, I feel for you, because it's a job to have to wrangle kids and get them to do anything. Lord, it's...
Yeah, I know nothing about that. So
yeah, of course.
I did sit in a classroom for 18 years, but...
True. It's weirder being on the other side.
I bet.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird, actually.
So there are moments when I'm up there, it could be I've been going all day, no problems whatsoever. And then there'll just be a moment where I can almost have an out of body experience when I see myself up there and I'm just so conscious all of a sudden of everything I'm doing and saying. It's just what the heck am I doing up here? If these kids knew how big of a jabroni I was, I would be kicked to the curb in 2 seconds.
Well, that was one of those things when you get older, you realize because as when you're a high school student, really up into high school, you're like, man, I wonder what it takes to be a teacher.
Exactly.
And then there's really good teachers still, but then you're like, oh, some people that become teachers, it's one of those really funny things. But I'm not gonna talk too much smack. It's one of those funny things.
Because there's variation, or not variations. There are variations, but also quality levels, like with any job.
Right.
There's the overachiever types. There's the people who are just learning, like me. There's grizzled veterans who know it and are could do it in their sleep. And then there's those ones that they're a year and a half from that retirement, and they're just they've got their calendar. They're just 302 more days, 301 more days, and they're just counting down. And they're just they can't fire me. What are they gonna do?
That penny jar is almost empty. You know how people do that for retirement.
Yeah.
No, the people that I'm thinking of too. It's when they say, "Oh, so and so, they're a teacher now." You're like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah. I can imagine that there have been plenty of people who have heard that I do this now and are thinking he's a teacher? He was such a lunatic in junior high, and they're letting him be in charge? No way.
Oh man. All right.
Speaking of lunatics. No, just kidding, not at all.
No.
But these...
I tried transitioning into a tick to a bug, but I don't know. I couldn't do it. Tried.
So, as you know, Ladybugs is this episode, and Huell starts it off in a place that he started off a couple different episodes. I can't remember all of them for sure. I remember he was buying strawberries from someone at this Hollywood farmers market in a past episode. I don't remember which has been a running theme now. Like, I can't remember anything that we used to talk about on this show, but we're starting off in the farmers market. Have you ever been to the Hollywood farmers market before?
I have not.
Neither have I.
No, didn't TMZ show this though? Because it was a big to-do about everyone still meeting.
Yeah, this farmers market was in the news kind of for the wrong reason recently, I guess.
Well, and I just gave away, showed my cards. I watched TMZ. No shame.
Hey, you got to know, you got to get your information from somewhere, right?
I do. It's hard hitting.
Sure thing. But yeah, he starts off at the farmer's market buying flowers and nectarines and stuff for himself, but he always has to visit the Ladybug man.
Yeah, well, you know what he's getting at the farmer's market? He's getting his fresh California flowers,
oh, yeah.
his fresh California peaches, nectarines, grapes, and then he just plops them on the table.
At the Ladybug table, which, okay, how weird is this whole experience of buying Ladybugs weird to you? Have you ever seen this done before?
No. I mean, no.
Okay. I do remember my grandpa bought some for his rose bushes when I was a kid, and they came in like something you would, if you were to buy soup at a deli and get it to go, it would come in like a styrofoam bowl kind of a thing. They came in that, and he just stuck his hand in there and then just came out with like this Ladybug glove, and I about fainted. I was freaked out when I saw it. This was
your grandpa?
Yeah.
And he had mitts, right?
Yeah. He had big old meat hooks.
Yeah. No, I've never been involved in a transaction with Ladybugs.
Okay. So it's weird that they're at the farmer's market. I guess it makes sense, especially in a big city. You're not going to be maybe have access to a nursery or even like a Home Depot, but there you go. Like, there's the Ladybug man at the farmer's market.
Yeah, and it's Tommy, right?
Tommy
Wiseau?
You wish. Paltier? Paltier?
Paltier.
Paltier, okay.
Man, that took me a second, yeah.
Yeah. And he's just the point of contact with the customer. He's not actually going out and collecting them, which is what kind of comes up in this conversation, is that Ladybugs are not they're not grown in some sort of like farm or anything. They're just straight up grabbed out of nature, which I did not know whatsoever.
I didn't either.
I remember you said you're mentioning something about like the Ladybug good luck charm thing. Had you ever heard about that before?
No. I mean, it makes sense because there's sort of I've never heard of that before. But then once you said it, I said, yeah.
It does make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can see that.
Huh?
So,
what about that Ladybug Fly Away song? Had you heard that?
I had not heard that either. Like I said, I'm really ignorant with Ladybug culture, apparently. So
now that I did know, I guess my grandpa bought Ladybugs. My mom used to sing that song. My mom definitely knew a lot of those like weird old-fashioned nursery rhymey songs. And I do remember that. Like anytime she would see one, she would sing that silly song and I would be embarrassed. But at about a minute, almost 2 minutes in, we see how Jeff Paltier sells the Ladybugs. And man, it's ingenious.
Dude, yeah, it looks... It'd be even better if you put a quarter in and that little plastic container came out.
Because, yeah, that's what it is. Like, if you were a kid and you were you're at the pizza parlor.
King Leo's.
Yeah, and you want to buy like a fake ring or what else would come in one of those things?
A tattoo.
Yeah, like a temporary tattoo. It comes in one of those plastic little pop-top containers. But this one has like 100 ladybugs in it.
Yeah, and he throws it over some ice blocks.
Yeah.
Or some, some freezer packs.
Uh-huh.
But that's...
So, I mean, looking in the background of the people passing by at the farmer's market, there's not a lot to say about.
Yeah, there's like no graphic tees there.
There's one that pops by that looked like it was sort of wrestling related, but I couldn't make it out for sure. But usually with these kind of crowd scenes, that's like that's the real gold. That's the fashion gold that we get.
Oh yeah,
a lot of. But it's just a regular kind of spring day. It looks like in L.A. People wearing shorts and hanging out.
Yeah.
But
Tommy's bug shirt's pretty cool though. But other than that,
all those bug shirts, yeah, they're. I mean, they do look like something that you would buy like a 6-year-old, but because I know myself at age 6, I would want that a lot.
Well, all I wanted to see were these killer snails, but whatever.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what Tommy sells: ladybugs and killer snails.
All right, so
yeah, this is kind of just the intro, right? And then it jumps into the meat of the episode.
Yeah, because we're seeing the final stage for the exchange happens.
Yeah,
but we get to see how these ladybugs are gathered, and so where are we going?
Well, funny you should say that. Actually, maybe we should just let Huell say it because it's really something that I never thought I would hear be uttered on this television show. We don't know. And we don't get to know. So I did pull that clip of that intro, and we can just listen to that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Okay, first off, don't adjust your TV set. There's nothing wrong with it. We're out of focus on purpose. Because before we started this adventure, we had to promise not to give away our location. So all I can tell you is that we spent a whole day somewhere in California on this very exciting but secretive Ladybug expedition. Okay, our Ladybug adventure begins. We have arrived with Doug Beck and his son Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey. And we are here to look for ladybugs. How far away are we from the ladybugs right now, Doug?
We're about a quarter mile upstream from them right now.
All right, so we're going deep into the forest to get these ladybugs.
That's right.
And we've kind of kept this whole thing a secret because the ladybug collectors like you don't want to give away your ladybug locations. They're prized possessions once you locate where they are, aren't they?
Yeah, you work all your life to find these places, so you don't want to give them up. It's kind of like a gold mine, you know?
And how do you know where to look for ladybugs?
That's kind of a secret in itself.
There are lots of secrets when it comes to ladybugs.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
But they like certain places, don't they?
That's right, yeah.
What kind of places?
Well, I'm going to tell you along creeks, and that's about all I'm going to say.
Just along creek banks.
That's it.
High elevation, low elevation.
That we don't give up.
Oh. Well, this could be a very short segment because we're not going to give away where we are, whether we're up in the mountains or down. All we know is we're near a stream and we're looking for ladybugs. And are you sure we're going to find ladybugs?
100%.
What do you mean 100%?
100% sure we're going to find them.
All right, we're off. Come on, let's go. We're heading down the trail somewhere in California in search of ladybugs. You really did keep it secret.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So that was a pretty long clip, but it really, the whole interaction, it previews what is going to happen in this episode, which is the secrecy level of everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we do know a few things, right?
Yeah. Well,
so
water.
So I did. There's water there.
Yeah.
It's in the Sierra Nevadas.
Yes. Which
we do know that there is a public historical site next to the creek.
Uh-huh.
We know that Doug is from Grass Valley at this point in his life.
This is all like you dug pretty deep in it. You dug into Doug.
I dug Doug, yeah.
As per usual, you were able to find quite a bit of information on this interesting gentleman here.
Yeah, do you want to go into it?
Yeah, just hit me with the Doug facts.
Okay, because there's a few things I don't think you know, and
okay,
I can see your face right now, so I'm curious to see what.
Yeah, we're doing our Zoom.
It's not. I don't want to oversell it, but
okay.
Okay, so we start with Dirty Doug, right?
Yeah.
And the reason we call him that is because he was featured in a book by Robin Chotsanoff called "People with Dirty Hands: The Passion for Gardening."
Yeah.
Okay, so he was the president of Garden Ladies. This source that I found, they actually, typed it out wrong. It's Garden Ladies, Ladys. And they talk about him living a few miles outside of Grass Valley and collecting and selling ladybugs.
Where's Grass Valley exactly? Do you know?
It's like Truckee.
Okay.
Like that, it's like...
Yeah.
It's hard to call it Northeast California because there's so much more California
I know.
north of that. So, yeah. Okay, so he's living there.
Uh-huh.
Let me see. Okay. So they say that Doug Beck sells thousands of gallons, because it's his favorite measure, apparently it's a gallon, of ladybugs each season. And on a particularly good day, he and his brother collected 176 gallons in a single outing.
See, I want to know how many bugs per gallon. He doesn't. Did you find it?
So, okay, it gets a little deeper. I did some sleuthing on Doug.
Yeah.
Okay, so Garden Ladies moved from Grass Valley. Okay, and they moved to Elkton, Oregon.
Okay.
And he was selling praying manti. Never really had to say that out loud before. And ladybugs, and he was selling them for a case of 25, which I don't know how much comes in 25, but $106.25, and you can mix and match praying mantis with ladybugs. So, okay, here it goes. The ladybugs come in a package of 1,750 bugs, and the price of each package is $4.25. Now, granted, I'm on his Angel Fire website.
So this is not the most well. I mean, I have heard of Angel Fire still being up and available. Maybe not in its full prime, but
thank the Lord that Internet Archive exists.
Yes,
because it is archived forever. I was going to submit it to Internet Archive, but it's already there.
Good.
Okay, so we have that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I found he had an About Me on his...
Of course.
I'm just going to read the About Me because it's very short.
Okay.
And I'm just curious what you think.
Okay.
Okay, it's a true family business, right? Garden Ladies. So Doug and Angel, which is his wife, have 12 children.
Whoa, what?
With 6 at home.
So little Jeffrey here in the show that we heard about in the intro is one of 12.
He's one of 12.
Wow.
They call it a yours, mine, ours, and theirs blended family of biological step, adopted, and foster kids ages 30 to 2 years old, and they have 7 grandchildren.
So maybe not 12 bio kids, just 12.
No.
Okay. No, I mean, it doesn't matter either way. It's just like, I thought, like, wow, they're pretty busy up there in Grass Valley, but I get you.
So, that's kind of everything I found on Doug.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find much on old Jeffrey there.
Well, when you're one of 12, you kind of get lost in the shuffle, you know?
That's true. And the other website that I found, which was gardenladies.org, which I had to find through archive.org, it just says retired after 25 years, and you get forwarded to organic control as of December 14th, 2014. Whatever. And then the screenshot that I submitted, on our note-taking page here is it's just a picture of Doug and a dog.
Is the dog one of the 12?
The dog is one of the 12, yep.
No.
Adopted.
Hey, there you go.
So. Well,
dang, that's... it's funny that there can be so much information. It does kind of show you what the internet has done to the world that, when this episode came out, and even many of them before, these people were just everyday folks that you may have seen on this show, and that was it. But now, this, super obscure job of Ladybug Hunter, and obviously, old Dougie is, he's like a godfather of the business, it seems like.
Right.
We can get all this information on him if you know where to look.
Yeah, it's true.
So just to dive into what is happening in the actual episode, you heard in the clip that Huell is somewhere. And I just wanted to make mention of the graphic, the California outline that we always get that has the star and the name of the town. None of that, obviously. It just says, "Where are we?" ? Above California. In front of, with the background being a bug-splattered windshield. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing of the intros, but memorable.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And then, okay, let me ask you this.
Well, I should say this. Dude, Truckee's kind of far away. Anyone who lives in that area is probably mad at me for saying that. Let's say it's between Truckee and Sacramento. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I had to check myself here. It's it's by Nevada City. If you've been there.
I don't know that one. Well,
it's deep in the streets.
Speaking of deep in the streets, deep in the trails, Doug and Jeffrey are sending Huell on a this is not a regular cut trail. This is just kind of wilderness.
No, it's not. Well, can we back up a little bit?
Where?
Before we start scaling
the
side of that rock. So that well, first we see that Huell at 10:08, he almost boofs the cheese when he first starts walking. That's
first step onto not flat ground, almost falls in the creek. The very swift, dangerous looking creek that they're next to.
So, and then we get to the public Indian grinding rock.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Because we've seen this before, right?
Is it this exact one?
No, it's not this one. We went to the state park.
Yeah, it was the Miwok one, right?
Yeah, in Alameda County.
Okay, yeah.
My favorite part about this is Jeffrey. Okay? Once they show the hole there, or the grinding, whatever, where they were grinding acorns and whatnot, Jeffrey just kicks the rock, something on the bottom of his shoe, just kind of bored, a bored kid.
Yeah.
But when you look at his, the way his feet and lower pant legs are dressed, you notice he has his socks tucked into his...
His pant legs tucked into the socks.
It's an anti-tick measure there, which he's the only one rocking it. But then I noticed that Doug's shoes have to be 16 years old.
I didn't even notice. Oh, yeah, what is that like? Oh, wow, yeah. So
yeah, them things are.
Those have got to be. Okay. I'm assuming those are his Ladybug getting shoes that he probably keeps in that crazy looking truck with that aerating machine that he's got in the bed of the truck. that he wears specifically for this. That's my guess.
Yeah. That's they're used. They're work shoes for sure.
For sure.
So in the grinding rock though, Huell just jams his hand in there and just pulls out some dirt. He just wants to get in there, just being Huell.
Well, yeah, because it's public land, so he gets to just touch things without having to ask this time.
Yeah. Did you notice what Doug said about Jeffrey though?
Oh, that
he said
he's half at home.
He said Jeffrey here is half Indian, so he's halfway home.
That was an odd way to put it, but hey,
it's a.
It is what it is.
And to me, this next bit is when we actually begin the Ladybug collection.
It gets cooking, yeah, for sure,
dude. It didn't shock me. I wouldn't say that. It's a little too strong, but I was surprised how not delicate he was with these things.
Yeah, I mean, ladybugs they're beetles. They're pretty hardy insects, but he is kind of like throwing around like it's a handful of gravel or something. Like he's not the most gentle, but I'm assuming. I mean,
then again,
it's his job to keep these things alive as long as possible.
I guess that's what my next thing. Who am I, right?
Yeah,
this guy's he's the expert. So,
so he says, but like we'll get into that in a few minutes. So, like at first, when you see him like grabbing handfuls at about like 14 minutes 40 seconds, you're like, oh, that's a lot of ladybugs, because seeing 100 ladybugs at once is probably more than most people see at any given time.
Right.
But the first tub full, or not even full, it's just like a few handfuls. Huell asks how many he thinks is in there, like a couple hundred. Doug says 5,000 to 6,000. Okay, Doug, you are the expert, but I mean,
I don't know.
Not like I've ever won one of those like how many jelly beans are in this jar competitions, but
right.
It doesn't look like there's 5,000. It looks maybe like there's 500. But again,
yeah.
Who am I?
Would you say it's like a tenth of a gallon?
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that's cool about this episode is like the shock factor does kind of ramp up, because like the first bit we see like, oh, that's a lot of ladybugs. And then we get to the next part, you're like, oh, okay, that's a lot of ladybugs. And it just keeps getting crazier, because Huell is just like grabbing and slamming, not nearly as hard as Dougie. Like he's just like rocking these ladybugs world out here. But like every step of the way, it just like it really, I don't even know how to put it into words, which is dumb because we're in a audio format. But this is one of these episodes where you really got to visually see some of this stuff too. How many ladybugs there are in this one secret location. It's
one.
freaky.
So like a ladybug on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
As kids we're like, oh, this one has spots, so it's a girl.
Yeah, right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
But it didn't weird me out, but see these things swarm?
Yeah.
Less cute. I'm just going to say that.
Yes. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. But there's like there's one point when Huell really kind of like, you can hear the excitement level where he knows things are getting to a new level now. And I pulled that clip. You want to just let him do it?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear Huell's excitement level ramp up. Here we go.
So birds don't eat them? Animals, rabbits, foxes?
Dragonflies and bluegill are the only two things I've ever seen eating them. Although I heard in the Canadian Rockies that actually grizzly bears do eat them.
Oh my God!
This pan holds 3 gallons.
Look at them over here on this log. Oh! Look at this.
That'll be all right.
Have you seen over there, Doug?
Yeah, I was over there a minute ago. I'm going to head that
Oh,
way.
you uncovered that.
Yeah, I uncovered it.
Oh, gosh. I like looking at them on the log.
Yeah, you see more of an individual look, don't you?
Yeah. They're beautiful little, you call them bugs or insects or?
Well, they're bugs, insects, lady beetles, whatever you want to call them.
Okay, have you ever heard anyone call them lady beetles before?
I haven't, but again, who am I?
Yeah. Catchphrase of this episode, who the heck are we to question Doug, what's his last name?
Doug Beck.
Do we know? Doug Beck, yeah. So, you hear Huell. He's starting to freak out. They're starting to, they're getting gallons at this point. Literal gallons of LBs. And that's when, it's not right around this time. It's actually 2 minutes later, once they've got a few sacks in, that Huell asks about the whole permit thing, which I never would have even thought about.
Right.
But it's interesting to think that, yeah, it makes sense. You can't just go out collecting animals to sell, I guess. I mean, I don't know if you watch Tiger King or not, but it seems like having a bunch of one type of animal, no matter how endangered or not they are, seems like a bad idea.
Well, who takes better care of the animal? Is it Carol?
Joe, you mean between Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin, and Doug? Who's the best caretaker out of those
technically,
three?
He doesn't have a zoo, or a nature preserve. So it's
I
not
don't know
really
that,
comparing the...
If you look at the bed of his truck, it certainly looks like a zoo of ladybugs to me. I don't know. I don't want to give any spoilers away to Tiger King if you haven't seen it, but
what are you waiting for, right?
Yeah, right. Have you seen it, by the way?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The way that you described it was probably the best. Where?
What did I say?
You said, okay, it's like one of these shows where you're like, man, this can't be real, and then you realize, okay, yeah, it is real, and then it gets crazier and crazier, and then it's over. It doesn't level out in any way.
No.
It's just Excelsior.
The only thing I could equate it to was a podcast that I listened to back in the day. It was one of those hot podcasts called S-Town. Did you ever check that one out?
Kathleen was, yeah. Okay.
Because that one is just oh, wow, whoa, what the heck? And it just ramped up until the end, and you're just I don't know what to do with my life now. It's just, it kind of just messed you up for a day. Anyway, I'm going to, Doug, hands down, best bug or best animal keeper. For one, he's got a lot more to worry about. And yes, he is in the sale of bug market, much like Joe Exotic was in the sale of cub market that he shouldn't have been. Oh, sorry, spoilers, but, come on.
We don't know.
Watch the show.
We don't know.
Yeah, it's speculation. But...
Well, okay. Getting to that, I had no idea collecting ladybugs was a protectionist industry. I just didn't know there were permits. It's you need a license.
Oh, that's right. The reason I was bringing up the permits is because I saw an article about the ladybug trade being illegal, at least as of 2018, because there was this whole change up of the permits. Because Doug mentions that you do have to get a permit, and they only give a few out at a time, and I guess it switched from Department of Fish and Game to state parks or something, or vice versa, and there was a mix-up, and all these ladybug harvesters, probably because old Doug retired, and the market, all these ladybug princes were trying to take over and get the crown that Doug had. And they were trying to get those permits and like, oh, we don't know. They're like, okay, we're going to get them anyway. And then they called them ladybug poachers.
Ladybug poachers. Oh,
but,
man.
I don't know. There's like, what would you say, like 3 or 4 levels of crazy in this. There's like the first couple handfuls. Then there's that big bunch that you heard in the clip before where Huell like really is freaking out.
Yeah.
Then there's the tree.
The tree is, and that leaf, that shot the leaf with his finger.
Yeah.
The little finger. I have a
There's
screenshot
like
of that, so.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Look at the Instagram so you can see that. So one leaf has like 100 ladybugs in them, and Huell's flipping. But the last one, the last shot of actual ladybugness, I mean, pun intended, it's amazing. It's crazy.
It is crazy, and Huell cannot help himself.
No.
Because what does he say? He says, I'm trying to get exactly what Huell said. Oh, man, I can't remember.
If you want to just do the clip.
You have the clip?
Of course I have the clip, dude.
Oh, for sure. Let's just listen to the clip then.
Okay.
Way better.
Here it is. Here we go.
Okay, we're leaving the ladybug tree, which is one of the most unbelievable things I have ever seen in my life, and we are now hiking back here to see something that you say is going to top the tree, if that is possible.
Yeah, Huell, we saved the best for last. So right to our left here, you can see a whole bunch of ladybugs.
Look at this. Oh my gosh. How many ladybugs are here?
There's probably 4, maybe 5 gallons there.
So you're talking about over, what, almost 1 million ladybugs?
Well, it's probably 400,000, maybe 500,000 there.
And why are they here right beside this? Is it because of this big old rock with the moss on it? It keeps them cool? Or?
Well, these particular bugs here, probably for that reason, yeah. Not all bug beds have a big rock, but this one here has got everything to offer. It's got shade, it's got humidity, and it's got protection from the forest here.
So this is your day's work just right here.
Well,
I mean, you could stop right here.
No, we need to get probably 10, 15 times that today.
So Doug, I can't get his numbers right. Like at first he says there's 4,000 to 5,000 in what looks to be like, 3 cubic inches of space, and now there's what looks like trillions of ladybugs to me. And he says, no, it's only 400 to 500,000. Like, dude. Who am I? But I think Doug's downplaying. Do you think Doug's downplaying to try and keep even his numbers secret?
He was kind of trying to keep people out of it. Like, it's not that great of an industry to be in. I don't know.
I know, bro. You're putting food on the table for 12 kids.
Well, and I like that he asked him if he could grab a handful. Yeah. And Doug just says, hey, here's the pan. Start loading it.
Yeah, he's like, if you're going to grab them, catch them.
Which is pretty good. Yeah, because, Doug initially said that there's probably about 4 or 5 gallons here. That's how he initially refers to them, right?
Yeah.
And then he says, exactly what you said, there's 400 or maybe 500,000. So 1 gallon has 100,000 ladybugs? It's like, okay. So whenever he talks about gallons, just think about 100,000. So you're telling me that day with his brother, he gathered 176,000 ladybugs?
No, it'd be more than that, right?
Am I doing the math wrong? 100,000?
Yeah,
oh, yeah. No, you're right. It's 1.7 million?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's too many. That's crazy that there's that many ladybugs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just doing bug math sometimes. I remember watching, because I really like ants. Because I like ants. I've watched a lot of documentaries on ants. If anyone is interested, check out the work of Edwin Wilson. Was the premier scientist in ant research. And I don't remember the exact figures because it's difficult because there's, thousands of different species of ants, but just specifically like fire ants specifically, which have like spread all throughout the world. They can kind of estimate how many there are in the world, and it's like it's mind-boggling. And then some of these ant colonies that reach like across a whole state, like across all of Arizona. There's like an entire interconnected colony.
That's cool. Well, I'll say this too.
Uh-huh.
We don't math so good because that's actually the number.
Is it?
It's 17 million, yeah. 600,000.
Well, there you go.
But whatever. I'm
a history teacher, dude. That's what I tell kids when they ask me math questions. I'm like,
I'll say
there's a reason I teach history.
And I did study economics, but here's the thing. I studied Austrian economics.
How many numbers did you actually see?
The Austrian school's more the verbal tradition, so
yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So this one kind of ends. I mean, it ends on a high note with just that humongous, just sea of ladybugs. But then the real outro, which I don't know, man. You were saying you want to play this song.
I think we should play the song.
If you want to, I'll do it. But I'm going to say, maybe, okay, to preface, this is coming from two guys who don't have kids of their own. So that whole, like, oh, kids are so cute thing all the time, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just not applying to us. You think that's the thing? Because the song is bonkers to me, man. You be the judge.
No, it really is, though. And it just, I mean, Doug is an interesting person.
100%.
And I think it's hard because, he's obviously a loving guy. He has a big family.
Yeah.
But then he's sort of trying to keep, his industry sort of like, it's cool, but it's not cool.
Yeah.
Because the way that it came off to me, this is the only way I could describe it. Okay. Like if you were in a class,
mm-hmm.
And like I said, this is his personality because I think of the show and because of him having to be secretive and all this. When you're in a class, and let's say you just took a math test, and then you turn to this person, and you say, so how'd you do on number 7? I thought it was pretty hard. And that person says, oh, that was the easiest question on the test for me.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's Doug.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard kids say that in my class. Like, what? You didn't get that one? That one's so easy. It's like, all right, so-and-so.
Then you grade the test.
Out. Yeah, right. Like, bro, your answer was not better, but whatever. Okay, let's just play this song. It won't be our full outro. Or should it be? Just the whole outro?
I think we should have the outro. We'll just do the bit before, and we'll send everyone away with this beautiful song.
There you go.
Into the next week. Yeah.
Well, okay, so this episode's over, and let's preview what we're doing next week, yeah?
Yeah. So I think we're going to pull out the big guns, right?
This is one of the biggest guns. This has been one that you've been talking about since day one. Before we even started the show, during our, brainstorming days. This has been on your list.
It is. So I think we're going to do In and Out.
Yep. We have to do it.
And we have a special guest.
We do.
We have an In and Out veteran that's going to be co-hosting with us.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone that has any questions about In and Out, secretive questions, this person has worked well. They worked at In and Out for 7 years, almost 8 years.
Real
experience. And so I've asked this person questions, such as, so I've heard that there's a low frequency sound that In and Out plays in their dining room to make you hungry. Or to make you come back, sort of like Pavlov's kind of thing.
Is that something you actually heard?
I've heard this before. Like I said, the myths around In and Out are butt wild, right? Like it's just kind of what they are.
I mean, they perpetuated that with their own little secret menu thing. But
that's true. And then
people,
like
of course, take it 5,000 times further than it ever was. But yes, I never heard of that one. So I hope she's got some sort of answer for that.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. Because, so I think that'll be a fun one.
Oh, for sure. And it's like one of the most classic episodes. It's one of the most like rerun episodes I've seen on KCET. They always replay that one. And it's also it's like one of the special episodes because it's actually an hour long. Most of these are usually 30 minutes. Yeah,
so we're going to have to figure out we'll figure out something. But we won't make the podcast too long because an hour would be kind of ridiculous. But we'll definitely take the highlights and the good nuggets, and then we'll ask some fun questions.
For sure. So that's going to be good. Again, we're on no strict schedule right now, which is silly because we have so much less to do. But, well, what?
Well, you do.
Well, true. Yeah, I'm gonna throw you out. I'm gonna put you on blast right now.
Okay.
In a good way.
Okay.
Our good friend Steven, he was on an early episode. We did the Blossom Trail with him and his wife, and our wives did that whole thing. He's working at home also. He will, he kind of loosey-goosey with the time he starts and stops, maybe, the work time.
Yeah.
Because he'll call me in the afternoon, and I'm like, bro, aren't you supposed to be working?
Yeah,
and he's like,
he does do that.
But then, he's making up the hours in other ways. He's doing what he's got to do.
Yeah.
You stick to your schedule because you will not. You sometimes will not answer for quite a while if I'm asking you some dumb question, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's actually working. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Yeah,
it's
It's got to be a keeping yourself sane tactic.
It is. It provides structure to the day.
That's why I'm remodeling my whole damn house. I got to do something to.
And I got into these like, I used to listen to a box fan, as you know, and for my study time.
Yeah.
Just a loud box fan, and then I found these videos where it's 8 box fans.
You have not told me that you're getting into box van video.
Well, no, I'm into different stuff now, dude. There's a binaural beats. They have 2 different frequencies in each ear, and it's to help you focus.
Really?
Yeah, it's a thing. So I'll show it to you off the.
You definitely need to because I'm sure there's people who can relate. I have ringing in my ears a lot of time. Like I can hear it right now, pretty bad because I'm wearing headphones. But a lot of times when I read, I have to have some sort of like just soft music playing. Mm-hmm. I'm not even paying attention to it. It's just to kind of like bring the frequency into range so I can concentrate. Otherwise, it's just like wah in my ears.
Yeah.
So that would probably help.
All right. Well, whenever we're done here, I'll send it to you.
Cool. So here's the real question. Someone, I think, didn't we? Yeah, we got an interesting email the other day.
We did.
And one of this person actually already threw out an intro, which we're going to have to put on the next episode because it's just taking me a while to edit things right now. But you'll be on the next episode for sure. But they mentioned eating In-N-Out while we do the show, like we did with the horseradish and the sourdough bread way back in the day. Are we going there? Are we going that far?
Well, a few things. Logistically, one, the line to In-N-Out is about a quarter mile long. One on Stockdale.
True.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Although it goes really quick. So there's that. So we got to figure out the timing. And what are you going to eat from there?
Grilled cheese, bro?
You going to grilled cheese? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because, if I just mention we're doing this episode to Aaron, we're going to be having In-N-Out either way. Like, I know once I plant the seed, it's going to be like, oh, well, let's get that. That'll be what we're doing. So
okay. Sounds like a plan. We'll get In-N-Out then.
And you should also eat In-N-Out while listening to the show because, I mean, they're a big company, but we gotta help all these restaurants out, especially local restaurants. But we all have our own special ones that.
Well, I also have an In-N-Out. What is it? I think it's a little chess set and an In-N-Out coin. It's good for a burger. So.
What the heck?
Oh yeah. We got a few things. I also had one of those. It was a Letterman's jacket that In-N-Out gave to employees.
What? Dude, okay, we're jumping too far into the In-N-Out one. We need to save this for next week.
Yeah. It's deep.
Let's just call it good for now, and just figure that you're gonna come along with us next week and every week as we continue
our search
for
Huell's Gold.
You got a Ladybug song for us.
Yeah, here we go. Ladybug, a ladybug, you better fly away. Ladybug, a ladybug, Doug and Jeff are coming today. They'll put you in a sack, throw you over their back, and start to pack and put you up for sale today. So ladybug, a ladybug, you better fly away.